117 seats, 23 districts and some 2 crore voters. Battle lines for the February 20th Punjab Assembly elections are drawn. This time is going to be quite an interesting contest. It's an interesting contest because this is going to be a 5-cornered fight in these elections. So let me take you through all the political players who are in the fray, the leadership who all are in the fray, and the main faces of this election. Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi. Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi took over from Captain Amarinder Singh after he resigned, alleging humiliation by his own Congress party back in September. So Chief Minister Channi took over from Captain Amarinder Singh and he became the first Dalit Chief Minister of Punjab. Remember, Punjab has traditionally been led by the front by Jat leaders. There have only been 2 non-Jat Chief Ministers so far since the Punjab was granted statehood in 1966. In Punjab, not many people would know that Punjab has the highest concentration of Dalit population proportionally. There are 32% Dalits in Punjab. So Chief Minister Channi, his appointment to the post in a way is seen as a masterstroke by the Congress party, which has given Punjab its first scheduled caste chief minister. Now he of course has Punjab Congress chief Navjot Singh Sidhu, who is the Jat Sikh himself, but it's not very clear that he will replace Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi as the CM face. So Chief Minister Channi, because in overall politics as well, if we see the Congress party's overall politics, so CM Channi is kind of a poster boy of Dalit uplift for the Congress party, not just in Punjab, but outside as well. The regional party, which is the Shiromani Akali Dal of Sukhbir Singh Badal. So Sukhbir Singh Badal is the party president, and the party of course fought the last election under the leadership of Akali veteran Prakash Singh Badal, who is in his 90s now. The Shiromani Akali Dal secured just 15 seats in 2017. Back then also Congress secured in fact 77 seats, and the Aam Aadmi Party secured 20 seats. So this time is going to be a momentous challenge for Sukhbir Singh Badal to revive his party. Now then there is the Aam Aadmi Party. The accusations that the party leadership, Arvind Kejriwal, didn't really let local leadership evolve in Punjab, and that cost him dear in last elections. However, in these elections, he has named Bhagwant Singh Mann as his party's CM face. Bhagwant Singh Mann comes from the Malwa belt. He is from Sangrur, and Malwa belt, remember, is the southern part of Punjab, and you enter Punjab from Delhi. It's the Malwa region that you enter, and this region is kind of a bellwether region, Punjab, which houses 69 of the 117 seats. So there is Bhagwant Singh Mann, and he is of course a college dropout, but who made a name for himself in the world of comedy. In fact, he started his political career with Manpreet Singh Badal's PPP in 2011. He won Sangrur seat by a margin of some 2 lakh votes, and in 2019 he won that Sangrur seat again, although with a reduced margin of a little over 1 lakh votes. So he is now the CM face of Aam Aadmi Party in Punjab. Now there is also another factor which is an X factor in Punjab elections these days, which is the Farmers Party, the Sanyukt Samaj Morcha of farmer leader Balbir Singh Rajewal. Remember, Balbir Singh Rajewal was one of the most prominent leaders of the farmer agitation. Balbir Singh Rajewal floated his own party. There are in fact in Punjab there are 32 unions, farmer unions, out of which 22 unions launched this party, the Sanyukt Samaj Morcha, led by Rajewal himself, and this is in alliance with the Haryana-based leader Gurnam Singh Chaduni, whose party is called Sanyukt Sangharsh Party. So both are in a seat-sharing arrangement, and both have launched this political outfit to fight elections, and they are also very well in the competition. And Balbir Singh Rajewal, he's 78 years old, and he is the face of this Farmers Party in Punjab. Now, then we move on to Captain Amarinder Singh. Captain Amarinder Singh needs no introduction in Punjab politics. In 1984, he became persona grata of Punjab politics when he resigned Congress party and his seat as an MP in protest against Operation Blue Star. In 2021, when he resigned as Chief Minister, alleging humiliation, it's not yet absolutely clear that it carried that much of weight which his earlier resignations had carried, because it appeared as if he was speaking from the space of revenge against Navjot Singh Sidhu. So Captain Amarinder Singh launched his own party, which is Punjab Lok Congress, and he has stitched an alliance with the BJP and with the Sayukt Shiromani Akali Dal of Sukhdev Singh Dhindsa. So this is the third party. Remember, BJP is not a major player in Punjab, and there is, especially after the agitation and during the agitation, there was a considerable disaffection with the BJP here in Punjab. Even in 2017, when the Modi wave was at its peak, the BJP could only win 3 of the 23 seats it fought with Shiromani Akali Dal back then. Now it's like the Punjab is in a state of flux. There is quite an inflection point. No one can say for sure that there is some sort of firm wave in favor or against any particular party of the 3 major parties that I mentioned, Akali Dal, AAP and Congress. It's all about how the political parties manage their cadre, how they have their machinery on the ground to mobilize voters. But one thing is clear, that in post-agitation Punjab, this election may change the course of conventional politics in the state.